back to Evil Shenanigans World Headquarters and Training Center. Today we are going to restore, it's a strong word to use, we're going to fix a post vise for James. So I thought this might make an interesting video because most of the post vices I see for sale come just like this one. They have no spring and no mount. So we are going to build a spring, a mount, and then a stand for it. I built this one for mine the other day, and after having to attach logs to it as counterweights, I think I learned some stuff. So we made basically it's a triangle stand. It's got 3 legs, and if you look down from the top of it like this, you'll see the post is outside of that triangle, and so it makes it want to tip that direction. So I think what we need to do is to get it set up where that post is inside the triangle, and then it'll be stable, and we shouldn't need the counterweights. So we're probably going to move mine back at least as far as it will go. I think we've got another, because the concern is where that bolt is and where that leg is right here. So I got about that much more I can move it back, which may not get us all the way inside the triangle, but it'll get us closer. So that's the hope anyway. So maybe I can at least fix that one because of that right there. But so we're gonna start off, we got some leaf spring. So I've got it kind of marked out. We're gonna cut out the spring section. We're gonna have to flare it down a little bit here so it kind of locks onto this. Which, if some of you have been looking at them online and you find them in condition just like this one, you're like, well, do I really need the spring? And the answer is yes, you do. Here, hold that. Because you'll notice when you open it without the spring on there, it's all floppy and will be next to unusable if you've got something in your hand and you're trying to open your damn vise and this thing is burning your fingers. And so yeah, you're gonna need the spring on there. It gives a little bit of tension and helps spread the jaws open. And then of course you need a mount for it because it won't stand up by itself for very long. So that's the goal for today. I thought it might be helpful if somebody is looking at a post vise, because it's a huge addition to your shop. It's really handy. So these two were actually given to me, and that one had all the junk with it, so thank God. So we have a model we can at least kind of follow. So that's the plan today. We'll probably do a lot of check-in videos. Well, I say a lot. We'll try to do some check-in videos if we don't forget to film. So anyway, there we go. We'll be using our Evil Shenanigans welder. James got a helmet, so we're going to teach James how to weld. His is all ghost flamey. Flame on, dude. And mine is covered with stickers, so if you see your sticker on there and want to send us some shit for free, that would be dope. Especially you guys. We really like your
thank you, Empire
your
Abrasives.
I have a 2x48 now, by the way. So
I have a 2x72.
it's all fancy. Woo. All right. So here we go. We're going to get started. I guess we'll set up and do some time lapse, because that's always funny when the camera falls over and we don't know and we film the ceiling for like 3 hours.
And if we set a small fire by accident.
Yeah. There may be fire today. I don't know. I did sweep up in here, so there's not that much left to catch on fire, but there'll probably be a small fire at some point. So, all right. So get ready for a whole bunch of cutting out stuff with the grinder. And all right, yeah. All right, let's get set up and we'll do time lapse. So.
So now we've just quenched the spring, and now we're letting it cool down to a, room temperature so we can start to temper it. I think we're going to use the torch to temper it and hit it maybe around a purple color because we want to draw back the hardness enough so it can be real springy when we put it in the vise itself.
Yeah, so we used, this is AAA quenchant, which isn't exactly the right quenchant for 5160 leaf springs, but it's better than the canola oil we've been using in the past, so it should be fine. It's so freaking thick still. I don't think it's gonna crack it or anything like that, so I think we'll be all right, but looks pretty good. Got our little flare on there. Got a nice little curve, got our straight part, got our little hooky guy at the top. So it kind of looks like that one. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll clean it up real good so we can see the temper colors. Once it's cool enough, we can handle it. So here's a sneak peek of upcoming project. That's all the hint you get. Leave us a comment. Think about what you think we're gonna make.
Or if you don't know what it is, give us
Yeah.
suggest what you think that is that's on the table. Or chair, whatever that is we
Yeah.
got on. I don't even know anymore.
Here's a hint. It's not doo-doo. All right, so we'll check back in a little bit. All right, I'm gonna wrap this video up by myself because James is a big wuss and went home. So we finally finished up the stupid, I'm gonna turn the damn camera around. The spring, well, I say we as in me, because again, James wussed out on us. Hang on. So this is spring number 2 that we made for the post vise. Remember to put our touch mark on that one. And here's the stand that we made, along with the mounting bracket. There's the mount we made. See, it was missing, again, it was missing the spring and the mount. So that's what we fabricated today. And then we made the triangle stand, tripod stand, I guess. It makes a triangle. And you can see on this one, the post vise leg is inside the triangle, unlike the one I made yesterday, where the leg is outside. So I'm gonna try to move that one back here in just a little bit, get it in at least a little bit closer. Hopefully that'll stabilize it some. But anyway, so it can be done. Oh, here's the first spring we made. This one we had to make 2. It was a good looking spring, but we had it all put together and I was welding that little foot on so James could secure it to the ground if he wanted to. And we heard this big snap and we're wondering who was shooting at us, and it was the spring that went. So we had torch tempered it after we hardened it and got it up, I don't know, probably in the purplish range. And I only did 1 thermocycle on it because I thought, oh, it's just a spring, it's not under that much pressure. So the grain was real big and the temper hadn't been pulled back near enough. I did a little bit of reading when I made the second one and tempered it with the torch, got it up to about 750 degrees. So way hotter than you would for like a blade or a tool or something like that. So far it's been on there about, I don't know, probably 10 minutes and it hasn't snapped like a rifle shot, so I think this is good. So I think we'll call this video done along with this project. So it was pretty fun. If you've got some leaf spring and a welder and you know, a day or 2 to do it, I think it's worth getting one of those post vise that's missing the spring and the mount, as they all seem to be, because you can make them. Just, you know, go slow, be careful. Don't put near as much of an arc in there as you think you should. Like on this part right here, there's a big straight part right up here, and then you want it to go just barely, whatever this distance is, from the straight line into the leg that moves. That you want that arc to just kind of kiss it, because you can see it really doesn't move that much. So it's just got to kind of hold tension on it is really all it has to do. so you don't need that big of an arc. And we used just little U-bolts from Lowe's to secure the vise to the mount, because on the originals it's like a big loop. This is all, you know, punched in, and there's wedges that kind of lock it into the mount, which we thought about making one kind of like that, but honestly it seemed like it was more trouble than it was worth. I think this will be just fine, but this one seems real stable, so definitely split your legs on your tripod stand if you're making one of these things. Go out far enough that your post vise will be inside that triangle, and you'll be good. If you, for reference on setting your angles, we used a speed square and went to a 3 pitch to set the angles on the square tubing, like here. So that gave us the right angle we wanted to get that base out wide enough. Really, since we were having to build all this crap anyway, we just got kind of a general idea of what height we were looking for, which was I think our target was 31 for the top right here, to be like 31 inches off the ground, and then we set those angles out, like I said, at a 3 pitch, and we ended up, I think our height was like 30 inches, so we were close. But it really doesn't matter that much as long as you're, you know, within an inch or so, because there's enough leeway up here. You can actually move these mounts if your height is off a little bit. So basically that part here would be loose, so your vise could effectively travel up and down inside the mount. Then you just secure your mount to the deck on your holder here, and kind of get everything situated, and then you can lock it all down. So it kind of, in a way, the vise will self adjust for height, as long as you loosen it up. On these guys, with the original things, you have to drive this wedge out like that direction. You tap it in with a hammer and then put a punch in there, and you can tap it out, and kind of the same thing. So as long as you're close, you know, you can't be like 6 inches off or something, you know, too high or too low. But as long as you're fairly close, it almost doesn't matter what this angle is that you set up here, as long as you get it out wide enough. If that makes sense. But if you're thinking about doing one of these and you have any questions, hit us up on Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, whatever. If I can answer your question, I will be glad to. You know, in all my experience of making, you know, 1.5 of these things, because I'm only counting that one as a half right now. We'll count it fully if I can get rid of that log for counterweight. But I'll try to answer your questions if I can, or, you know, give you a pointer or something. I'd be happy to. So hit us up. But anyway, well, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that crap. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We'll one of these days have a website set up with some of our stuff on there. So anyway, well, thanks a lot. Remember, 3 pitch, that one.